Dear students, this is my third screen recording in connection with introductory aspect relating to Ind AS. In this screen recording, I am covering roadmap of convergence of Indian accounting standard with IFRS as well as comparison of Ind AS with IFRS. Roadmap of convergence of Indian accounting standard with IFRS refers to the fact that in India IFRS was introduced in 2011. It was accepted by some of the companies in India, but as a mandatory, it could not be introduced in India. It was given as an optional accounting standard. Those companies which were interested in having their accounts with international standard tried to adopt IFRS. Later on, IFRS was made suitable to Indian conditions in the form of Ind AS, and it is referred as Ind AS convergence. So finally, the wait is over. Indian accounting standards converged with IFRS are done. That means IFRS was made suitable to Indian conditions under the name Indian Accounting Standard. After issuing the revised roadmap for implementing Ind AS in January 2015, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has come up with the phase-wise adoption of Ind AS. Indian accounting standards converged with IFRS. India has chosen the path of IFRS convergence and not adoption. That means IFRS is not directly adopted to Indian conditions. It is made as Ind AS. It goes parallel with IFRS. Only minor changes are made in IFRS and it is named as Ind AS. The MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, has issued a notification dated 16th February 2015 announcing the company's Indian Accounting Standards Rules 2015 for the application of Ind AS. A total of 41 Ind AS has been notified. Ind AS, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India (ICAI), is the body that sets up accounting standards in India. In 2006, ICAI initiated the process of shifting towards international financial reporting standards. International Accounting Standards Board issues IFRS. The purpose of ICAI to shift towards IFRS is to increase the acceptability and transparency of the financial statements of Indian corporates on the global platform. IFRS is an internationally accepted, of course, by some of the companies, some of the countries in the world, and it is international standards applicable to financial reporting. Accounting Standards Board ASB of ICAI has formulated the Ind AS. It has tried its best to keep them in line with IFRS. Only absolutely essential changes were made in IFRS and Ind AS is formed, and in the names given to the standards are at par with IFRS. Almost the same names are given. The central government of India issued Indian Accounting Standards in consultation with the National Advisory Committee on Accounting Standards (NACAS). Ind AS are IFRS converged standards. That means with slight changes, IFRS is introduced in the name Ind AS. They are named and numbered in the same way as their corresponding IFRS. National Advisory Committee on Accounting Standards NCCAS recommended these standards to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Ministry of Corporate Affairs MCA makes Ind AS applicable on the companies in India. So far 41 Ind AS have been issued. The Accounting Standards Board of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has issued the following accounting standards. Their name are as given in IFRS. It is 101, 2, 3, 4 Like that, number of standards are introduced for various aspects of financial reporting in connection with various items that are presented in financial statements. The selected Ind AS standards are discussed in my forthcoming screen recordings. I am not going to read out all those standards, and only selected standards are discussed in my coming screen recordings. The significance of Indian accounting standards. Indian accounting standards facilitate the cross-border flow of money, global listing, and global comparability of the financial statements. This in turn facilitates global investment and benefit to capital market shareholders. It enables the investors' ability to compare the investments on global basis. This helps in reducing the risk of misjudgments. It also eliminates the costly requirements of reinstatement of financial statements. That means Indian accounting standards is global standard as it goes parallel with IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards. When a company adopts Ind AS or IFRS for that matter, will be recognized internationally, and their accounts are accepted internationally. So the investors can take decisions based on such financial statements without any risks. Adoptability of Indian accounting standards. As per the notification from 1st April 2015, Ind AS shall be implemented on a voluntary basis and will be mandatory from 1st April 2016. However, the banking companies, insurance companies, NBFCs, non-banking financial companies are excluded from it. Later on, it issued the roadmap for implementation of NBFCs, banking companies and insurance companies. So straight away, in India, all the companies were not asked to incorporate Indian accounting standards. It was introduced gradually, and there was a roadmap as to what are the companies that should be adopted Ind AS are decided. In the first phase, from April 2016, Ind AS became mandatory applicable to all companies provided it is a listed or unlisted company and its net worth is less than 5,000 crores. For the purpose of calculating the net worth, previous 3 years figures for 2014, 15 and 16 are taken into account. Likewise, in the phase second, from 1st April 2017, Ind AS was made mandatorily applicable to companies provided it's a listed company or it is in the process of listing. Then its net worth should be more than 250 crores but less than 500 crores on any of the above dates. For the purpose of calculating the net worth, the previous year's figures are to be taken into account, that is 2014, 15, 16 and 17. So gradually companies having lower net worth are also asked to incorporate Ind AS. In the third phase, Ind AS became mandatorily applicable to all banks, NBFCs and insurance companies with effect from 1st April 2018, provided their net worth is more than 5,000 crores with effect from 1st April 2018. IRDA has notified a separate set of Ind AS for banking and insurance companies with effect from 1st April 2018. Core investment companies, stockbrokers, venture capitalists, etc. are also included in NBFCs, non-banking financial companies. For the purpose of calculating the net worth, that is 500 crores or more, previous 3 years figures are to be taken into account, that is 2016, 17 and 18. In the last phase, that is phase 4, from April 2019, Ind AS mandatorily applicable to all NBFCs provided their net worth is more than 250 crores but less than 500 crores. Now, all the companies with a network of 250 crores or more than 250 crores are mandatorily required to incorporate Ind AS. Companies can follow Ind AS either voluntarily or mandatorily, but once a company starts following Ind AS, it cannot revert back to its old method of accounting. So in the fourth phase, the companies which are having a net worth below 250 crores can either follow Ind AS or can continue its domestic method of reporting financial figures. Once Ind AS becomes applicable to a company, then it shall be automatically applied to all its subsidiaries, holding companies, associate companies, and joint ventures, irrespective of individual qualification of such companies. That means if a company adopts Ind AS, then its subsidiaries, holding company, and associate companies and joint ventures will be included in Ind AS standard. Comparison between Ind AS and IFRS. As I said, IFRS is converged into Ind AS, that is, with minor changes wherever absolute necessarily that has to be changed, changes were made. As stated earlier, India has chosen the path of IFRS conversion and not adoption. Therefore, there are few differences between Ind AS and IFRS. These are known as carve outs. That means unnecessary parts are taken out and the relevant parts are maintained. Of course, very few changes were made. These carve outs are there keeping in mind Indian economic environment and reporting requirements. A few are stated below. Under Ind AS, only one statement comprising of both profit and loss and other comprehensive income will be presented. Whereas in case of IFRS, there is no option to present other comprehensive income under a separate statement. So that is one of the difference. In Ind AS, it allows presentation of expenses by nature only. The expenses are recorded by nature, whereas in case of IFRS, it is a policy matter. Presentation of expense by function is not allowed in Ind AS, whereas it is allowed as a policy matter in IFRS. Under Ind AS, earning per share are required to be presented for both standalone and consolidated financial statement. Under IFRS, earning per share is not required in a separate financial statement if both separate and consolidated financial statements are presented. That means in IFRS, if separate statements are presented, earning per share is not required to be calculated separately, whereas in India, separate financial statements, separate EPS, earning per share has to be calculated for standalone statement and also consolidated financial statements. Under Ind AS, the bargain purchase gain or business combination is to be recognized either in other comprehensive income or capital reserve, but not profit and loss account. That means if there is any profit that is calculated when there is business combination, that will be treated as capital reserve or other comprehensive income and that are shown in the balance sheet and not treated as a profit. Under IFRS, the same is recognized in profit and loss account. It is not that profit is not taken to profit and loss balance sheet in IFRS. Under Ind AS, investment property is to be accounted using only cost model with fair value disclosure. Whereas under IFRS, both cost and fair value options of accounting are available. That means it is the policy matter, that is, the company can choose either cost method or fair value method in accounting. What is the future of adoption of Ind AS? Implementing Ind AS is likely to impact key performance metrics. Ind AS implementation can have a wide range of impact on companies' processes, systems, controls, financials, income taxes, and agreements. The companies need to carefully examine and evaluate Ind AS transition provision and accounting policy elections. Indian Inc., that is Indian corporate world, now needs to get ready to embrace this transformation. Anyway, India is a global country and it has to meet the standards in connection with accounting as accepted internationally. So it has to adopt some international accounting standards, and India's is the standards available to Indian companies. So gradually Indian companies should accept India's in a phased manner as decided by the regulatory bodies. So that ends the discussion on introductory aspect relating to Indias. Thank you.